Kai was a young man living in a bustling city. His life was a constant whirlwind of meetings, notifications, and an endless stream of digital information. He carried his smartphone everywhere, as if it were an extension of his being, and he couldn't remember the last time he had truly disconnected from the online world. One evening, as Kai sat in a crowded cafe, he glanced around and noticed that nearly every person was engrossed in their phones. His own device chimed, alerting him to a new email, but he hesitated. For a moment, he questioned the true purpose of his constant digital engagement. Was it really making him happy, or was it a distraction from the present moment? Kai made a decision that evening. He left the cafe, headed back to his apartment, and switched off his smartphone. The sudden silence was deafening. The apartment felt empty without the constant hum of notifications. At first, Kai felt a sense of anxiety. What if he missed something important? What if he lost touch with his friends? But deep down, he knew he needed a break from the digital chaos. He decided to embark on a digital detox retreat of his own making. In the days that followed, Kai found himself confronting an odd mix of emotions. He was relieved to be free from the shackles of constant connectivity, but he also felt an overwhelming sense of loneliness. His smartphone had been his gateway to the world, his source of entertainment and social interaction. To fill the void left by his smartphone, Kai took up meditation. He found an app that guided him through breathing exercises and mindfulness techniques. Sitting on his balcony with his eyes closed, he focused on his breath and the sounds of the city around him. As the days turned into weeks, Kai began to notice a profound shift within himself. He felt more present in his own life, more in tune with his thoughts and emotions. Without the constant barrage of news and social media updates, he had the time to reflect on his goals and dreams. One evening, while meditating, Kai had an epiphany. He realized that his smartphone addiction had been a way to avoid facing the uncertainty and challenges in his life. The digital world had become a convenient escape, a place where he could numb himself to the real issues he needed to address. With newfound clarity, Kai decided to explore the city in a way he never had before. He walked through the streets without headphones or a screen to guide him. He observed the beauty of the city's architecture, the colors of the sunset, and the myriad faces of its people. He also reconnected with nature. He took weekend trips to nearby parks and forests, immersing himself in the serenity of the natural world. There, he felt a profound connection with the earth, and he realized that the answers he had been searching for lay in the simplicity of life itself. Kai's relationships with others began to transform as well. Without the distraction of constant messaging, he started having deeper, more meaningful conversations with his friends and family. He felt a renewed sense of empathy and understanding, as if the absence of his smartphone had allowed him to become a better listener and a more genuine friend. One evening, while sitting on his balcony, Kai received an unexpected visit from his neighbor, Mr. Johnson, an elderly man who had always struck him as wise and serene. Mr. Johnson had noticed Kai's newfound routine and decided to share some wisdom. "Kai," he said, "I've been observing your journey, and I see a transformation in you. In this fast-paced world, it's easy to get lost in the noise and chaos. But when you disconnect, you reconnect with your inner self. You discover the beauty of simplicity." Kai nodded, grateful for the visit. "I feel like I'm on a journey to find my true self," he replied. "I've realized how much I've missed in life while I was constantly plugged in." Mr. Johnson smiled. "You're on the right path, my friend. Life is a delicate balance between the digital and the analog. Remember that, as you re-enter the digital world, you can choose how you engage with it. Use your smartphone as a tool, not as an escape." With Mr. Johnson's guidance and the lessons he had learned during his digital detox, Kai eventually turned his smartphone back on. But this time, he approached it with a new perspective. He removed unnecessary apps, turned off non-essential notifications, and set boundaries for his screen time. Kai realized that the smartphone was a powerful tool when used mindfully. It could connect him with loved ones, provide information and entertainment, and even help him in his meditation and mindfulness practice. However, he understood that it should never replace the richness of real-life experiences. Over time, Kai's life regained a sense of balance. He remained connected to the digital world, but he never allowed it to consume him. He found joy in both his online and offline interactions, and he cultivated a deep sense of presence and awareness in his everyday life. Kai's journey of self-discovery and mindful living served as an inspiration to others. Many people in his community, touched by his transformation, began to rethink their own relationships with their smartphones. The city became a little quieter, as people started to look up from their screens and rediscover the beauty of the world around them. In the end, Kai's retreat from his smartphone had been a journey to reconnect with himself and the world. It had taught him that the answers to life's questions were not to be found in the digital noise but in the quiet moments of reflection and presence. And as he continued on his path, he knew that the balance he had found would be his guiding light in the ever-connected, ever-chaotic modern world.